Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Qiana Nelson. She is the founder at QSN Consulting LLC, and she's an experienced coach and leader who is guiding people to reach their full potential. I'm extremely excited to share her story with you today, and really thank you so much, Qiana, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Bryce, for having me. I'm very excited to speak with your audience today.
Excellent. Speaking to the audience, for those watching, if you're watching this from any location that is outside of our free community, I wanted to personally invite you inside because it's a mastermind where we come together and support each other every day. So if that's what you've been missing in these times, or maybe we're not as connected as we used to be, come and join us by clicking the link either above or below. And we can't wait to see you inside. Now, Qiana, what was life like before you got into coaching and consulting? And what was the catalyst that brought you into the field and the space?
Sure. So I officially launched my coaching business under QSN Consulting in the beginning of 2019. However, I've been coaching for most of my career as a sales leader at a Fortune 500 technology solutions provider. So it has been something that I'm very passionate about. I love to see people get to where they want to be. And for me, what made me start to coach was the fact that it was like perfect timing. In the beginning of 2019, I started working with an executive life coach for myself. And what I realized, he was doing things for me that I wanted to do for other people. So through my experience, I started to ask him questions of how I could get involved and get into the business of helping others. The other thing that was happening at the exact same time was my best friend is also a life coach herself. And she had been chatting with me about, having my own business. And she sat down with me and she said, hey, you know what? You're doing this every day, at the company that you work for. And I think you could actually really thrive in this business because you have a lot of experience. So those two things working very closely together around the same time really pushed me to get into the business so that I can help others.
Yeah, I'm glad that your friends and the people around you are able to support you. Let me ask you this question. So now that, you've been doing this for a long time, now you're doing it very officially or even more in official capacity or on your own, right? Mm-hmm. What problem are people generally trying to solve when they come work with you?
Yes, many people are trying to figure out the direction of their life. And a lot of it stems from confidence and believing in themselves. So when a person is working with me, that's the first part we tackle is, the confidence piece, because once you have that confidence, you can do and accomplish so many things because you believe in yourself. So most people that are coming to work with me generally are just trying to figure out the direction in their life, but also their career. I work with a lot of professionals on how to navigate their careers as well.
Nice. Let me ask you this question. So right now, when we're talking about navigating and talking about, people are in transition, either they're coming into quarantine or they're leaving it or they're coming back or they're in it, what's been the biggest takeaway from your quarantine time?
Well, just for me, making time for myself. One thing that I've been living by is you can't pour from an empty cup. And so the big thing for me with quarantine is before this time frame, I was full speed ahead. I'm, working, taking care of my business. I have a 3-year-old that I have to care for. I have a family. And I was moving full speed ahead. And I will tell you, this time in quarantine has had me to take a step back and realize that I must continue to take care of myself and others in order to take care of others. So just doing things and dedicating time for myself is a top priority so that I can be the best person that I can be in order to help the people that's counting on me.
I think last time we spoke, we talked about, we have an activity we like to do in common to help us kind of decompress and relax. Can you maybe talk about some of the activities that you're finding? Because I hear a lot of people are like, there's nothing to do. But can you talk about some things you can do to decompress and relax?
Yes. So one thing that I try to work on is making sure that I find some dedicated time. It's almost like a well-being checklist. I will go get a monthly massage, and luckily for me, I am in a state where things are a little bit open and taking precautions, but just being able to go and relax and get a massage, go for a walk, to clear your head. And Bryce, you and I were talking, but it's so amazing how sometimes you're going for a walk and you're thinking about all these different things versus just clearing your head. So taking that time to just go for a walk outside is something that I really value, that time alone. Also, just growing and learning, finding ways to continue to educate myself is, for me, is pouring into me so that I can be a better person. So those are just a few of the things that I'm doing on a regular basis just to make sure that I am taking care of me.
Nice. Just kind of thinking about, this is a good question. There's two questions that are floating in my mind right now. The first one, if someone's watching, let's say that maybe they haven't found their purpose yet, or maybe they don't even know where to start. Can you ever maybe talk about maybe what's one or two things they can do to start listening or really understanding what their purpose is?
Yes. So I will tell you what I found when I started working with my coaches. I had been living in my purpose for a very long time. I had just never defined it. And once I defined my purpose, everything around me started to make sense. So my purpose that I live by every day is to enhance the quality of my life by caring for others and all those that I love. So everything that I'm doing is surrounded with my purpose, and it drives me. So what I'll tell you is start to think about the things that motivate you to get out of bed. Think about the things that you are doing and you feel the most passionate about. And one thing I tell someone, if you're doing an activity or you are in a space where you forget to go to the bathroom, that is really driving you because you're so ingrained in what you're doing that you're not even thinking about the things that you must go do. And so I tell people, when you're thinking about your passion, think about what drives you. Think about the things that you love. Think about the things that you roll out of bed for. I have a lot of motivation to do great things because I have a 3-year-old that I want to grow up and do great things as well. So she's my motivation. But again, she falls, of course, into my purpose with me saying, doing things to enhance my life by caring for all those that I love. And that's what I do. Everything that I try to work for is to make sure that I am helping others get uplifted. And that's why coaching is such a passion for me, because if I can give someone a piece of information or some guidance that they didn't have before, that is what I live for. I live for that impact and the things that I can do for others.
Can I ask you this question?
And it makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's actually really important that it makes you feel good. Sometimes whenever I hear people talk about passion or their purpose, right? Sometimes they get scared to define it because I think it's like, what their entire life has to be around. Can you maybe talk about taking some pressure off of that, and maybe does the purpose have to be, this is my whole life's purpose today that I have to define right now? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I tell people all the time, your purpose is going to change throughout your life. For me, it's remained consistent, but for others, when I coach them, I let them know it's okay that your purpose changes, but let's try to get a framework or almost like a theme that we are driving towards. And I tell people all the time, when you reach a destination or you feel like I'm living in my purpose now, people feel like it's a destination. It's not a destination. It's a way of life. So it's not like, okay, I've made it here. I've gotten to my purpose. Now what next? You can't think of it that way. You have to think of your purpose as your way of life. And your way of life is changing all the time. So I remind people all the time, it's okay if what's driving you today doesn't drive you tomorrow. But let's make sure that we understand what's driving us at that period of time, so we stay motivated and continue to do the things that we want to do to live a healthy life.
Yeah. Thank you for, kind of clearing that up and just making it easy. Cause that's why I think people would love to work with you, because you make things simple and easy and you make it really digestible for them. So thank you for doing that
Thank
for
you.
the people watching.
Thank you.
And, let me ask you this question. So as we kind of think about the future, or just, just vision, right?
Hmm.
Maybe how about this? Since we really defined your purpose, I think that's really in line with vision and kind of what the vision for your life is, or,
Yeah.
okay, excellent. Cool.
Hmm.
So let me ask you this question. So what is success to you?
Success to me is waking up every morning and enjoying what I'm doing. I tell people all the time, don't allow someone else's definition of success to be your own. I've heard many people say to me, I'm not successful until I get that next promotion, or I'm not successful until I accomplish X. But they're defining that success based off of what someone else told them. And so when they miss or fall short, they're disappointed. So when I talk about, success, I'm defining my own success. And for me, it's waking up every morning, enjoying what I'm doing, and making an impact and continuing to grow. If I am doing those things, I define my life as being successful. Yes, along the way, I am putting goals and trying to hit certain milestones and different things. But every day, if I'm waking up and enjoying the things that I'm doing, I feel like I'm successful. And so I encourage people that's listening today, define your own success. Don't allow someone else to tell you what success means to you. That's what a coach can help. A coach can definitely help you define what success means to you, because sometimes we don't know, but I think it is important for you to define it for yourself and not to let someone else define it for you.
Nice. Let me ask you this question. So, are you working on anything new, or do you have any openings in coaching in case someone wants to take you up on a coaching spot?
Yes, I do have openings with one-on-one coaching. So feel free to reach out to me through my website at www.qianaconsulting.com. So taking on new clients, but also something that I'm working on so that I can impact more people in a shorter amount of time is I'm working on like a professional playbook, which is we'll have a group of professional workshops. And some of that would include personal branding, interviewing, networking, different things like that some people need to start with as they're navigating their careers. So I'm working on a set of workshops where I will provide, 1 hour, 90 minutes, even up to 2 hours, depending on the topic, some workshops that I can put out there for folks to join. And then I want to also, the next thing, I want to move to a leadership series as it relates to those professional workshops around, servant leader, helping people that's new into the leadership role. How do you navigate being a first-time leader? So there are so many things that is in my mind. It's just a matter of getting it out there, and I'm going through the process. I have the content built out for the interviewing workshop that I'm working on, the personal branding workshop. I'm about to do a speaking engagement around navigating your career, so I'm building out that content now that I'll be able to put out there to the audience. So really excited for those workshops because it allows me to actually rinse and repeat on things that I'm working with others on. But again, if there are folks that's interested specifically in some one-on-one coaching and us really working on a plan specific to them, I am taking new clients right now.
Excellent. Real quick, so just in case someone doesn't go to the website, can you spell out your name so they can search you up on LinkedIn, Facebook?
Yeah. Sure. It's Qiana, Qiana, last name Nelson, Nelson. And again, that's Qiana with no Q. So it's Qiana. So you can find me on LinkedIn. You can also find me on LinkedIn under QSN Consulting as well. So feel free to reach out to me. I will definitely reply and figure out how we can work together.
Nice. I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming on the show and really adding some value to us.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Bryce. And I tell anyone, if you connect with me on LinkedIn, if you could just reference that you heard Bryce and I speak that way, I make sure I get you added as quickly as possible. You know, when requests are coming in, you're trying to filter through and everything. So if you would just drop a note just to let me know how and how you heard about me and how we're connecting, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, for those watching, we thoroughly hope that you found this valuable. And, you know, once again, if you're maybe socially misplaced right now when all the things are closed and, you know, we're just looking for some places to really connect with people, I recommend you go and check out our free community. You know, we've really curated over the past year and a half to be only positive people who are inspiring and encouraging each other every single day. So if that's what you've been missing in your life, come and join us inside the community by clicking the links either above or below the video. Now, hopefully you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed creating it. Feel free to hit the share button so other people can get some great value as well. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you in the next one. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and 1.